What if I told you that what we see happening in certain cities is because of a power that has been unlocked on the grid of Mama Earth? And if you happen to be somebody that have any type of pain, headaches, ascension symptoms, chronic fatigue, pre-existing conditions, if you were born with a genetic mutation like me with sickle cell anemia, what if I told you that we actually have spiritual powers beyond our capacity to understand? And the physical body, that is the 3D matrix way of stopping us from doing what we're here to do. But what if I told you that it's not going to stop us from doing what our soul is here to do? And so, learning how to tune in to your own physical body, which is the third temple of Jerusalem, the temple, the 12 disciples is the 12 cranial nerves. The entire teachings of monotheism were taken from ancient indigenous teachings and repurposed for a different purpose. And so, for those of us who have been under the weather, ringing in the ears, all these things, it doesn't mean that it may not be something considered medical happening with you, but it means that you are very powerful. And if you learn how to listen to the messages that your body is sending you and listen to your ancestors, because my ancestors have been coming and getting me when I go to sleep. What if I told you that maybe this is happening, but you wake up and you don't remember what happened? The veil is not thin, the veil is down. And when you vibrate at a specific frequency, you can have spiritual communications that you would not otherwise be capable of having. What if I told you that we are more telepathic now than we have ever been? What if I told you that seeing people be put in the streets for the purpose of policing and law enforcement, as within, so without? There are generals that are being released inside of us, inside of our DNA. There are new voices that you have never had conversations with because your mind is so busy having conversations with the negative voices, with the negative beliefs, with all of the things that you were programmed generationally on an epigenetic level to believe about yourself so that you play small. What if I told you that you could actually shift the paradigm without even having to leave your bed? And I know some of us be in the bed or on the couch most of the day. I know some of us be barely making it to work and be tired and getting home and just be wanting to rest. I know some of us got stuff that's backed up that we know we need to be doing. I know, but I'm telling you, if you watch my videos and take the information that I'm using and actually use it, you'll see for yourself. I'm not trying to get anybody to believe anything that I'm saying. Nobody will ever make an exposed video about me because I'm 100% authentic, sharing my gift as it is. I'm somebody who has already died twice, rewritten my soul contract, and came back into this hellish body. I didn't come back here to play games. I didn't come back here to waste time. I didn't come back here to be played with. I came back here to activate the souls of those who resonate with the frequency of my soul because your soul has a similar mission. And we all have roles. We all have different roles to play, but you got to pay the toll. There is a guardian at the threshold, and the guardian that's at the threshold is going to ask you to do things that you know you're supposed to be doing, but you haven't been doing it. The 3D matrix is trying to stop you from doing it. It's trying to keep you from chanting your mantras, using your mudras, doing your breath work, doing your somatic exorcism. It's trying to keep you from tapping in. It's trying to keep you from realizing that what you eat has a huge, 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 I can't even stress this enough, on the voices that you can hear inside of your mind. If what you're putting in your gut, which is your first mind, is not in alignment with the divine, you will not hear them speak to your mind. And when you look out and see what's happening in the world, you will only see it through the two eyes, and the third eye will not communicate with you. I'm telling you. So what we see happening with food scarcity, EBT, Medicare, Medicaid, this, that, and the other, I know it looks like it's something that only has a negative outcome, but it's not. This is a setup. And it's a setup that was set up a long time ago. And it's something that they have tried to prevent from happening. But we are turning into something else. So if your body seems to be breaking down, it's not because you're aging. It's because you haven't learned what it is that your body needs for you to operate at your full potential. It doesn't mean that you're going to see me out running a marathon. It doesn't mean any of that. But I'm telling you, if everything that I've been transparent about medically that's happening with me has not stopped me, and my powers have went to a whole new level. I hear things from many realms. I have all of the clairs. I can smell inside of my dreams. I can taste things inside of my dreams. I'm not worried about eating nothing poisonous in my dream because I have guides that walk with me, including my I divine self. I know my soul's name. And a lot of the fragments of my soul have been pulled back together in this lifetime when I left religion. The most suffering that we will see would be with those who need a savior, who need something outside of them to come and save them from this. And a lot of people are going to be disappointed, disheartened, and heartbroken when what they thought was the rapture doesn't happen. It's not a physical rapture. It is a conscious thing. This is Christ consciousness. And you cannot say the name Isis without first saying Ice is, Ice is, Ice is, Isis, 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 Isis. This name is being said over and over and over again. This is a form of reverse conjuring. Because the people who want to be able to use that energy, they may not be of the lineage to actually command that energy. But one thing about energy, you don't really care about who you are. If you know how to call on it and do the protocols, it's going to do what it do. But when you know your lineage, your spiritual lineage, when you know who your matron and your patron is, when you know who walk with you, and when you understand the way they communicate the messages from the oracles, the sibyls, they have been seated within many of us. And that's coming online now. So I am letting you know that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. And as I close this out, I'm going to finish this out and let the mother tongue communicate a message that I am not going to communicate in English because, as we know, freedom of speech, it ain't what it used to be. And the English language was a spell created to keep us bound on the prison planet. So I'm not going to use the English language to complete this transmission. To la kabaka fo kadare shete kolor to kolorete kabaki. Dosh kinene shete kolobaiti se kolora fo kabaite. Ansi kabata teleforma mokopo. Make te kolashino ko bakale te kololeto. Hani kololo ko shiko bakate shiko. Fits kararati kalaka bon komorere he. Rati kalalaka ne pamamo korpo kubokolai. Light takala site, me to kolaka shate kololoka naka bokoroko, hene kadere shete koroko, fama si takalani, dokasanala keloko bakia pokese, tantike se koroko she, tantike se koroko she, tantike to kororo sekiration kobakati kadere sheko, pantike shekota kaderete, tandiko holokorekanire she, tanchiko beshkone, la kalaka to kolele faba. La kalaka le kola bakabara. Tanti ke le situ kororo komanare le sika. Shanti kamansi. Fuba kala le to ko bati. Tanti ke le shiko. Bokorale he kere kanalake. Nane ko so kororo ko bakete. Hai shiko bai. I see. Do kola kabo.